This is an intro to the video you're about to watch. It is Redneck Relics, strictly. That's the only thing that's included in this video. I stopped there. I stopped about a year ago, and they were closed. So this time they were open, so I got to go inside. I photographed the old cars, everything outside again, and then I went inside, and I also took some pictures and did some video inside. So this is Redneck Relics, right off of US Highway 11E, and it says 321 as well, in a little place called Limestone, Tennessee. I'm here in Jonesboro, Tennessee. I'm getting ready to leave this Shell station I'm at. Turns out this Shell station was actually really nice. I stopped here last night and I didn't have to go to the bathroom, so I didn't go inside. And then this morning when I went inside, I was actually really surprised at how nice it was, how clean it was. I chose it because it is 24 hours, and it turns out it was right across the street from where I was looking at the cars at the car show. So I just decided that this was a, good place to stop. I was debating on whether to keep going and go toward White Pine or the 55 miles of the next stop, but I ultimately changed my mind. I could tell the car, the transmission was just shifting, a little off. It wasn't bad, nothing extreme, but it's a little off. It was a little off. It tends to do that by the evening time or after it's been run a while, or on the interstate. Really, I really notice it. But just driving normally like 40 miles an hour, 45, 50 on regular highways, I will notice it kind of toward the end of the day. I checked the fluid yesterday. As far as I can see, it is where it should be. It's in the crosshatch between max and minimum. So far as I can tell, it's okay. It's a little brown, not extreme. It smells okay. Everything seems all right. But that doesn't mean that there's not a transmission cooler line issue. I hope that's all it is, or just dirt, or the fluid's just a little dirty. I know the dealership recommended to do a flush and drop the pan and clean out the filter and do all that. And of course, I'll check the transmission cooler lines. If it's not that, then God forbid it's a new transmission, or God forbid there's a major transmission issue. I'm really hoping not. I am just so hoping and praying that's not it. I haven't had the car very long. The last thing I want is to have to dump about $3,000 into it for a new transmission. It has low miles, so there's no doubt if it does need a new transmission, there's nothing I can do but put it in. It has low miles. I mean, I could try to trade it, but I'm not going to get, I've only had it for like probably about 4 months, so I haven't had it long at all. So I haven't had a chance really to drive any money out of it. I have put maybe 5,000-6,000 miles on it since I bought it. It only had 43,000. Now it's got about 49,000. But still, it's hitting 50. Actually hitting 50,000. So there's no doubt it's low miles. I just purchased the car, so if it turns out to be that, I won't have a choice. It's not like it has 150,000. I can run down there, maybe trade it, get rid of it real quick before they notice. And they wouldn't notice. If I wanted to trade it, I wouldn't notice. I mean, they wouldn't notice. I see my phone is overheating, so I'm going to have to be back a little bit later. Okay, I started the car and turned on the AC on the highest setting. Held my phone up against the AC vents. I do that, and then sometimes I'll stick the phone for briefly inside the vents. It doesn't fall out. And to let it cool off. When I'm at home, I'll stick it in the freezer for a few minutes. I've been having an issue like this with the phone overheating. Anyway, it's cooled down enough now, so I'm going to do this video and then hold it up against the vents a few seconds or a couple minutes more, and then open up YouTube and make sure that my video is uploading, and then I'm going to get on my way. As soon as I pull out of here, I've got to turn the AC off and roll down the windows, because that tends to, that puts more load on the engine, and in turn more load on the transmission. Anyway, as I said, I thought there was a dance tonight back, you know, back home, and so I was thinking, okay, I'll head home, I'll jam home, because there's two different routes that I can take. I can either take 11 into 25, and it's going to add more to a little more to my trek, but I'll have a stopping point in between, which will be, I'm not sure, you know, I'm not sure right now. I haven't decided, because there will be, I know as soon as I get home, and it's going to be late, I've got to wash my bedding. I know my ex-husband is probably sleeping on my bed while I'm gone, and, you know, and I'm going to have to wash it as soon as I get home. And I don't want to go in late, at like, you know, 8 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock, and start washing clothes. I don't want to do that. Get in earlier, you know, 1, 2 o'clock in the day, and start, you know, 3 o'clock or even 4, and wash being 5. That's fine, but later, like 8, I don't want to do that. Anyway, so I haven't quite decided. There's two different routes I can take. There is no dancing tonight, so that kind of, you know, that's kind of the end of that. I can take 11 into 25, and that'll bring me straight into Morristown and White Pine, which will be my next stop. Or I can take Tennessee 107 to Tennessee 351, and then come into 25. If I'm accurate, I know Highway 107 comes into Irwin, Tennessee. There is no, after that, the route is to basically hit I-26, and there's just no way that interstate up through there on Interstate 26, going from North Carolina into Tennessee, is just too steep. I really don't want to push the car that much. But I think 107 will go into another route, comes into North Carolina, into Madison County, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to pick up somewhere in Madison County, probably on 25. As far as what gas stations are up through there, I don't know. I've got to try to, first I got to do a little bit of research and pull up 107, 351, find out what towns they go through, do a little bit of research so I have a little better idea where I could stop tonight if I have to, because, you know, I have to have a 24-hour, you know, stop, and most of this area is out in the middle of nowhere, so, you know, just tiny little towns, maybe tiny little towns. There's not really much in the way of motels, and I don't really want to stay at a motel. I'm not that far from, you know, where I need to be, not that far from my seasonal house. I don't want to, like, you know, 80 miles from home, but, you know, I can only do about 50. I've noticed I can only do about 50 miles on the car. But that said, I don't really want to get a motel for, you know, I'm only 60 or 70 miles from home. Anyways, because I'm doing fine, just fine the way I am. Anyway, I'm going to have to do a little research and find out exactly which route I can take. And once I've decided, I'm not sure if it's going to be US Highway 11 or another route. Once I find that route, I will be back with you guys a little bit later. Hi, I'm here at a place called Redneck Relics. I was here about a year ago, or drove past here about a year ago. I did get out and take some photographs, but turns out they were closed, so I couldn't go inside. Now, today is Saturday. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and he's open, so I'm going to go on in here and go inside. I'm not sure I'll be able to do any video. I'll also include a few pictures at the end of this little video too, so you can see what some of the stuff, you know, some of the stuff I photograph. Now, video is a different story. Inside, a lot of times I'll just snap photos at places like antique malls, that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm going to head on inside. Okay, I'm back. I thought I would do a small little video while I'm here. This is a really, really cool place. Oh wow, I didn't see that Area 51 sign. That's cool. Might come back and take a photo of that. Personally, I like the cat. That's my favorite. It's really cool. I like that little vase. Oh, I don't like that music in the background being on my video, because that's not really a good thing. A bunch of car stuff back here. All kinds of car stuff. There was another car show today, but it was down at Fall Branch, and I have no idea where Fall Branch is. And probably not someplace that I would want to drive, not with the car acting up. Okay, I'm gonna go out in the other little area and maybe I can get a tiny little bit of video. Just a tiny bit. But this is a really, really, really cool place. I haven't been in an antique shop, or whatever you want to call it, in a long time. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop now. Okay, another little short video. He has a lot of old Coke bottles. Okay, last video was a little noisy. I got my car in there. I don't like to do that anyway. I'm right out here at going south on US Highway 11E 321. That's where Redneck Relics is located. I am going to do another little tiny short video. There's an old, I think it's an old Singer sewing machine down there. Okay, I'm leaving Redneck Relics now. I just missed a really cool old red car. Really old, like a 1950 something. I just hit 50,000 right here at Redneck Relics. This upcoming slideshow was taken there at Redneck Relics, and the first slideshow was it's just outside, the old car, an old tractor, the stuff outside. This next video slideshow is mostly of the inside of Redneck Relics, and there are a few photos taken outside as I was going into Redneck Relics. Okay, I'm going to conclude this video. My eyes are burning. I'm here at, let me see if I can, oh, I can't. Anyway, I'll conclude this as quickly as I can. I was going to turn my AC up, but it also causes a whizzing in the background of the video, which I don't like. Anyway, I finally had to put my windows up and just turn on the AC. It's pretty hot here in Tennessee. Anyway, driving in here, I can tell my car is... Anyway, let me back up. I decided to make the first video, Redneck Relics, into just one video by itself because it's going to be about 15 or 20 minutes, and that's as long as I want it to be. I left, and a couple miles down the road, I saw a sign for this, where I'm at now, Davy Crockett State Park. Decided to pull in here. Anyway, I needed to clean some videos and photos and things off of my phone before I can do any more video. Also, I'm sitting here for just a little bit so my phone will charge. Anyhow, as I was coming in here, I noticed my car, I can tell transmission's a little, you know, it's iffy, but I mean, it's running okay. It does what it's supposed to do, but I can still tell that the transmission's a little iffy. It's definitely iffy, and a little. Anyway, I'm going to drive a little further down the road. I am now within my 100 miles. I think I might have had still 200. I think I used my 200-mile AAA tow last year when the other car broke down, and I ended up having to get it towed from my ex-boyfriend's brothers in Bluff City, Tennessee to South Carolina. Anyway, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna continue to drive it as far as I can, but if it starts to act up or acts up worse, then I will just pull over somewhere, find a 24-hour gas station or something, or store or something, and pull in and have it towed, because it's worrying me and it's causing me to be antsy. Obviously, I mean, transmissions are expensive fixes. They're like $3,000, so I'm definitely a little worried. Anyway, so that's it. I'm sitting here and I decided to let my phone charge. I decided to pull together the Redneck Relic this video. I'm getting ready to, and then I'll start the other video here at Davy Crockett State Park, and as soon as my phone's charged up enough, I'm going to get out, you know, take a little video, take some pictures. It's a very hot day. It's only about 2.5 or 3 miles in here, so it wasn't very far to drive. Of course, like I said, I can see that it's a little iffy. I just checked the transmission fluid, and as far as I can see, it looks normal. So I'm at a loss. Maybe I don't know if I'm not reading it correctly. I don't know, but what I do know is that I'm about 100 miles, a little less than 100 miles from where I need to be, or from my seasonal house now. So if it gets worse or whatever, I will definitely call a tow truck. I'll definitely call AAA, because I can get it towed anyway. Because I know I think I already used my 200 miles up, but I still have 100-mile tows left. Anyway, if I can make it, I will. I'm not that far into Erwin, Tennessee. I'm only about probably another 15-20 miles into Erwin, so that's not far. And I know I've already looked. I know they have some, well, actually, I take that back. I mapped it as getting as far as Weaverville. Weaverville, North Carolina will put me about 30 miles or so. That won't be far at all. That'll only put me, but I'm going to be having to do it down the interstate. That's only going to put me maybe 30 to 35 miles from mine and my ex-husband's house. So that's not going to be far at all. I did not look in Erwin. I know Erwin has, there is I think a station right there, that's right there in Erwin, that's right off of the I-26. Anyway, so I know they've got 24-hour gas stations, and I hate to do that, and that's going to leave me with more to do tomorrow if I do that. So I'm not real hip on that. I'm hoping to get a little more than 20 miles, because from where I was at in Jonesboro, I mapped it, and it was only like 16 miles to Erwin. So where I'm at now, I'm probably still about 15 miles, maybe a little more, give or take. And I really don't want to do 40 or 50 tomorrow if I can help it. I wanted to try to knock out a little more, and then that'll leave me maybe 35 miles to do tomorrow. And I mean, and that's pitiful, but after I drive it about 50 miles, I drove 64 miles yesterday, and I could tell, and 50 miles a day before I didn't notice anything, but yesterday at 64 miles, I definitely did. So, and that's pitiful, only driving 50 miles, but, I got to do what I got to do to get it home, hopefully without any damage to the transmission. As I've said before, the transmission fluid looks to be where it's supposed to be, but I could be wrong. I mean, it's definitely reading on the stick, and it appears to be, halfway between the crosshatch. It looks okay. I mean, it's a little brown, like it needs to be flushed probably, but other than that, looks okay, smells okay. So you know what, I don't know. I mean, I am worried, because it could just be a plain old straight up transmission issue, but then again, maybe not. I don't know. I'm hoping that it just needs to be flushed. Worst case, I'm hoping maybe transmission cooler lines. If it's more, well, like I said, I got to deal with it, and I can't get rid of the car. I just bought it, and it's got low miles. In fact, it just crossed 50,000, so it's really low. I bought it at 43,000. I've put about 6,000 on it. That's earlier in the video where I show, it just crossed 50,000 right there, or 50,000.6 miles, or 0.6 of a mile at Redneck Relics. Anyway, this concludes this video. I'm here at the state park. I'm going to get out, explore, and that'll leave the excuse me, that'll leave the car sitting for just a little bit, anyway, before I drive it, and then I'll get down to Erwin, and I'm just taking it like a little bit at a time. I'll get down to Erwin, which is about 15 miles. I'll probably stop, because I definitely need something to drink. So as soon as I leave here, I'm gonna find some place to get something to drink. It's very hot. Maybe have a little snack, maybe if I find a Dollar Tree. I'm not gonna drive out of the way to try to find it, but definitely I'll see a gas station, and maybe eat some little crackers or something for a snack. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get out here, explore a little bit, and then that'll be the next video. Davy Crockett State Park is the next video. So I hope everyone has a good week. God bless. Peace.